Good morning, English 11. So this is Mr. H here. I'm going to talk to you today about citing something in your paper that's coming up pretty soon here. So what I'm going to talk to you about today is the style that we use to cite and how we're going to cite our texts both in text and in our bibliographies at the end. So first we'll start here with the MLA style. Now I'm sure you're all familiar with it, but just to recap, it's the Modern Language Association style, and you've probably used it a lot in high school. You use it in most of your papers. Uh, let's talk about how they cite. So, first of all, what are we citing? Well, when you think about it, everything that you're going to cite is information that you didn't provide or research on your own. That'll be information such as quotations, statistics, facts that aren't common knowledge, and original research and ideas that are not your own. The key word here is that it's not your own information. You're getting it from somewhere else. You're pulling it from somewhere. You didn't provide the information. Someone else did. So, how are we going to cite that information? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to include the information either as a quotation, a statistic with proper citation by at the end of the sentence or the end of the quote, we're going to put our quote mark or the end of the sentence. And before we put our period, we're going to put in parentheses the author's last name and the page number. So in this case, William Golding, who wrote Lord of the Flies, which I'm sure you're all familiar with now, we're going to put his last name, and we found the information that we wanted on page 42. It's probably a quotation, but it might be a synthesis, something like that. Other words, you can also write in the sentence that author William Golding writes. In this case, you're attributing William Golding, so we know where the information comes from. And we know at the end of it that it's at page 42. Again, keep in mind that you don't want to do multiple periods. We just want one, and we want it at the end of the sentence after the parentheses, after the citation. You can also, if you have, with the last example, according to the February 12th, 2011 New York Times article, NAPS, so blah, 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 blah. So what's important here is that we as teachers know where you got the information. We can go to the New York Times. We can search February 12th, 2011's NAPS article, and we can go through there and find the information that you provided. In this case, the page number is less important because you got it maybe from a website or something, but it's important to know where the information came from. Now, if the author of information isn't available, what you'll do is just use any available piece of information, like the title of the article, the title of the work, or the website, to let us know where the information came from. So, in this case, 50% of teens hate turnips, which is an interesting statistic. It came from either the article Eating Habits or the website eatinghabits.com. It's important that we know where that information came from so we as teachers can go to those websites and find that information. So now I'm going to show you how to implement this into your papers. Let's say you just open up a Google Doc and you've got that information here. So what you're going to do is I'll just go pull a quote from somewhere. Let's say you open up Google Scholar, you're searching up high school football, and you pull up an article. We'll use this one because I know where it's going to link to. So let's say that you're going to use something from this article. What we're going to do is I'll just pull a quote from here. You probably won't be doing this with your paper, but it's important to read everything and find out what you're going to use. But let's say, according to the study or the studies done, and then you'll put the quote there. Remember, don't use that period. What you're going to do is you're going to use the citation. So we'll go back to the article and we find that the authors are Wester and Weiss. So what we'll do is put Wester and Weiss and the page number that it comes from. So in this case, we're looking at page 41 right down here. So we'll also put 41 in our period at the end of the sentence. So after that, what you're going to do is we're going to put together our bibliography once we're done with our paper. So how that works is you're going to go up here to the section called add-ons, right up here. And what you'll do is you'll search for Get Add-ons, and you're going to find this, the EasyBib Bibliography Creator. It's going to ask you a question about Xing your information. Just allow it. It's not going to do anything. It's just going to let them essentially see the words that you're writing. So what you'll do is once you've added this add-on, you're going to go to Manage Bibliography. And it's going to load, and it's going to find, or it's going to open up EasyBib. So what's really nice about this is you have three options. You can do a book, a journal article, or a website. Fantastic. So what we're going to do is we're working with a journal article, and we're going to pull in the title of the piece, the relationship between perceived coaching behaviors and group cohesion in high school football teams. So let's put that into here. And oh, right there, fantastic. We've got our first. We'll use the first one right here. So we're going to select it, and it's got that, and it's got our information here. So what we'll do then is we're going to add our bibliography to the document. Now, one thing that I'm noticing is that my article actually doesn't match the one that's in here. You got to really, really check with these that they match up with the authors. Unfortunately, mine didn't match up, but this is just to show you how you do it, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. We're going to add the bibliography to the document. So what it does, it automatically adds your bibliography, and it formats it for you. Easy as that. Fantastic, right? So that's the way a journal article will work. With a website, let's just say you search concussions, high school sports, and you find a website, cdc.gov. You know that it's a reliable source because it's .gov, it's from the government. And let's say that, there's some information here for everything from coaches to teen athletes, and you want to see what the government tells teen athletes to do. What you'll do is, let's say you're going to use this page as, you're going to pull a quote from here or something. So what you do is you'd copy this URL, you go back to your document, select website, enter that into there. And so what you'll do then is you'll select that. Again, add the bibliography to the document. And what's nice is that it even, as you see, adds it to the top. So it puts it in alphabetical order for you, which is fantastic. Otherwise, besides those two, a book, again, self-explanatory. You're just going to search for the book in here. Let's say Lord of the Flies. And it finds it by William Golding. We'll do this one because it's capitalized. And we're going to add that to our document as well. So after you do that, you'll have your bibliography put together, and at the end, all you'll have to do is make sure you put it on a new page, and you'll save that, turn it in, you're good to go. If you have any questions, come talk to me during second or fourth hour. We'll make sure we get these all squared away, but happy writing.